we have launched this ID, so we have to get the file. We have to get the file. So how to get the file? So you have to find where you locate your downloaded file here. So just now I download and store inside the download folders. So I have to go to the download folders and look for this file called Practical 1, getting started with the Python part 1. Okay, you just click one time. And it will show you the Python notebook. So this is the Python notebook. Anyone miss? Have you downloaded the file? Oh, you put it. That's not standing. Put it on the desktop. If you store you put your file in a desktop, then you have to search. Okay. Yeah, if you put your files on the desktop here, then you have to search the desktop folders. Then you have to locate the file, find your files here. But I store in the download, so I just go to the download folders. Then I just retrieve the file. Python notebook, not Python. Yeah. The Python notebook are not the Python lab. Although the Python lab also can code, but I use Python notebook. Yeah, this one. And you have to wait for about 1 hour, maybe 1 or 2 minutes. If you are using an online laptop, make sure that you already connect to the internet. Already internet. Not Google search, Windows search. We already installed this Annapurna Navigator inside of this system. You just need to go to the search. It's okay, you share with your friends, or you can do this one. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay, come. Oh, okay. No. Ah, it's fine. Okay, it's okay. If your partner are able to open, then you share, temporarily share while waiting. While waiting. Then you share with your friends first. While waiting for another PC to... No, this is the first time I use the book in this lab. Okay, it's okay. So let me introduce first some simple functions. For this IDE. So firstly, we have this two bar. Right? We have a two bar here. Okay, and then here this row here, we call it as a cell. Right? CLL. So this row here is referred to cell. So inside this cell, you can either write your coding, okay, or you can use it as your heading, your title, or you can use it as the note. It's also okay. All right. So how to change? How to use when you want to code it? When you want to use the cell as the heading, you can change from here. From here. Okay. Let's say now you like to generate some title. Okay. You double click. All right. Then you can change to heading. Then you can write. Heading is kind of a title, title. Okay. So you want to exit from this cell, you can just click this button, run, or you can click shortcut key, Control Enter. Okay, Control Enter. Alright, and then this is actually just a note. So how to write a note? You can choose Markdown. Markdown is a cell where you can just write your notes. Let's say you found that you found another additional information from Google. So you can add it inside your notebook using this Markdown. Okay, so it's not going to execute this code. This is not a code, just a note. And then you want to write the code, for example, in this case, where you want to execute this code, get some result, then you have to change this to code. Okay, normally we use code, Markdown, or heading. We won't use raw and nil comments. Okay, so there are three options for you to. There are three options for the cell. Okay, and then for the top here, you have a file. You can open your new file, save. You can download as any other format. Okay, you can edit your cell. You can cut, delete the cell, add the cell, move the cell up, down. You can view. If you feel that the page is like very big, so you want to hide the header, you want to hide the toolbar, then you can hide also. Okay. And then insert cell above, insert cell below, so you can add the cell above or below. So you can run all the cells, execute all the cells, or you can run, it's up to you. There are many options here. Run the cell, or you just run all above or run all below. Kernel here, okay, when to use kernel is where you found that your whole notebook is like jam. It's not going to give you any output. Then you have to restart and clear the output, restart everything, restart the kernel and rerun again. Sometimes you may have some crashing. So you have to remove or rerun again everything. You have to go to the kernel, restart and clear the output and run. Okay? And then you have some shortcut here. Save, add the cell. You have to remove the cell. Be careful with this icon because once you remove the cell, it cannot undo. You have to recode everything, rewrite everything. So sad. So stay away from this scissor, very dangerous. So you have a copy, move the cell down, up. Okay. Can run the code. As I mentioned, run is equal to Control Enter. Okay, and then you want to stop, interrupt the kernels, restart the kernel. Yeah, that's it. Okay. So this is a simple functions of the Jupyter Notebook. The reason I like the Jupyter Notebook is you can write the code section by section. For example, in this section, I just want to put about the numbers and some numbering system. Then in the second cell, I have another section. So whenever I run this code, it will not affect the second cell here. So whenever you run the first cell, you have some problems, some errors, then you know that something wrong with the first cell. It's not going to disturb the second or third one. So it's section by section, it's more organized compared to other IDE. I prefer Jupyter Notebook. That's the reason. Okay, so let me explain a little bit first what the difference between the Python and also the programming language that you learned before. Some difference. Then only we will. Then I will give you some time to try around. Okay. So I will always use the C++, the syntax of C++ as the comparison, so you can see what's the difference between the Python and also the C++. So do you still remember whenever you want to declare the variables, for example A? So how to declare a variable for variable A? We need you need to declare a data type, right? So A, let's say, is equal to 100, so 100 stored in A. So if you put 109, then it will throw you the average, right? So it depends on the data type. If you put integer, But in the Python, it is very simple, simplified. No data type is required. You can just store any number into the variable. For example, this is an integer. You store in the A, then the Python is very smart. It automatically understands that this A is integer data type. Okay, so you have a decimal point here, it's a float. Then we will store here, then automatically C is equal to 1. Okay, and in the C++, we have a long, we have a struct, then we have a double, we have float here. But in Python, no, everything categorized as integer, everything categorized as float. Then we have a boolean, yeah, we have a string. String is different story now. So it's very simple, it's very easy. Unlike C++, where you have to declare this and that, then you can't even remember what data type they have actually declared. So in this one, it will automatically declare for you. Okay? So you can see we have a value integer here, we have a decimal here. And then if let's say now you would like to change the numbering system to binary, then you just add this keyword 0b in front of your value. So let's say 101. So you want to declare 101, it's not 101, but it's a binary number, then you have to declare a 0b. Okay? You know what is binary? Hexadecimal. What is hexadecimal? Base 16. As. Octal base 8. Then you put OB in front of the value. Okay? So let's say now, if you perform some operations here, multiply this. So by default, it will return you the answer in decimal, base 10. So you want to convert it back to the decimal, then you have to use this function format, change back to the binary. Okay, so I will leave it to you to play around with this number, change this value later. Then we have a 4 divisions. 4 division is to remove the decimal point after the division. So if a normal division, we just put a slash. Floor division, we put double slash. Modulus, what is modulus? To find the remainder or to check whether it's even numbers or odd number. So we use a percentage symbol. A power operator is slightly different than what you have done in the C++. In other languages, we use a cat, right? 2 power of 4, for example. But in the Python, we use double star. Cat in the Python, it has a different meaning. It has a different purpose, which we will cover in the next topic. So string in C++, we have to declare like this, if not mistaken. Is it? Something like this. We want to declare a string. Otherwise, you have to put string. Then you have to declare what you put. Right. So it's very troublesome. But in Python, it's very simple. You just need to declare using a single quote or double quote. Then it's understood the variable here storing string. Okay, so you can try later. So you want to join these two strings you want to join two different variables from different data type, use a comma. You want to join two values from the same data type, you can use the add. Yeah. So you want to check the data type, you use the function called type. Okay. So I will stop it here first. I will let you to explore yourself. Not just to go through, scroll the mouse, but try to change the value, change the variables, and then check what is the difference between the C++ with the syntax compared to Python. Okay, so if you have any questions, yeah, feel free to raise up your hand. Your version is slightly different than my version. because I have updated some content. Normally, before the class, I will always go through again. And then I feel something that is interesting, then I will add myself. Okay, so why not get different methods of mine? Anyone forgotten to take your attendance just now? Okay, just a numbering system. Second one will be the random numbers. So I think random number you can learn in C++ also lah, where you have to include this function the hash and then include random. In the Python, we don't use include, instead we use import keyword and then followed by the library name random. So this is the library name random. So under the random library, there are many functions. So I'm not going to show you all the functions here. Instead, if you want to know more about the function in this library, then you can just go to the Google and type random Python documentation. Random Python documentation. So then you will be able to see the whole list of the function. Whole list of the function under the library random. Okay, so you have so many functions here. I'm not going to show you one by one, just a part of it. For example, the random. Under the library random, we have a function called random where it generates the float numbers between 0 and before 1.0. Then we have a uniform generate between 1.0 and before the so-called you can set the ring before and before. This is beginning until end before. Okay, so rank integer, random number for the integer. So range is where you have an increment. Choice is to select the element, from the whole list here. Then we have this square bracket here. This square bracket is actually refer to the collection. It's actually refer to the list. So what is list? So you have a list called upper, you have a so-called set, then we have a dictionary. So all these are actually a collection. What is collection? It's like an array. It is a place where you can store multiple things, many things inside. Okay, so we have in Python there are many types of collection. I'm going to show you what is the purpose and the syntax of each of this so-called the collection next class, practical 2. But in this practical one, you just treat this square bracket as array. So in this array, we have 4 items here, so you can randomly choose. Decision making is not special. Okay, so you have actually learned during your any other lessons. Yeah, so we have an equal to, more, greater than, less or equal to. The only difference between the C++ and the Python here is we use the same syntax if, then we have a condition, but at the end we add a column here. We add a column, and then we put an indentation. Okay, we put an indentation here. So the indentation is equal to the tab. You can type tab, or you can put 4 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So if you look at this second condition here, okay, else if we have this condition, then we do this. Okay, we do this. In the C++, if you want these 2 lines belong to this condition, then we have to use block statement, right? We have to use block statement. If. So it means that these 2 lines is actually belong to if. But in the Python, we don't have block statement. We don't use the curly bracket. We just use the indentation. These 2 indentation here is equal to block statement. Belong to this. If you didn't use the indentation, you put like this, then this plane here belong to else if. This one is outside the condition. It's outside the condition. Okay. So make sure that you check properly each of your statement of indentation. In line if statement is another way to write if else statement. Just a shorter version. let's say now you have a normal if else statement, you have to use 4 lines. If this condition is true, print out this. Else, you have to print out this. You can actually simplify this 4 lines into a single line where you have a condition at the middle. If this condition is true, then we are going to do this. Else, we are going to do this. So it is same thing. It will give you the same output. So it's up to you. If you prefer this way, you continue, you use this way. If you prefer inline, which is only one single line, then use this. It's up to you. Okay? So loop here is like a for loop. Okay? So in C++, this is the syntax for. Then we have 3 parameters. Initializations, we have conditions or the ending point, and then we have an increment, right? So in the Python also same. So instead of using a for and then straight away put 3 parameters, we have to declare the variable I to store the value inside your list. Okay, for I, any variable, you can put any variable. For I in the range 11. So in the Python, we have 3 parameters also, right? Look at the third one first. So the first value is also the initialization, n before, and then we have an increment. If we put only 1 parameter, then by default, the starting point will be always start from 0 by default, and then the increment is 1. If you put 2 parameters here, then the Python will treat these 2 values as start and before, and by default, the increment is equal to 1. Okay? Okay, so I will let you to continue first. Okay, for 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Start from maybe the random number, decision making until the for loop. Then we will see whether we got time, then we will continue. Yeah. In Python, we don't have switch case. In the C++, we have a switch case. But in the Python, no. You have to use else statement. ELIF.
Then where do I write the condition?
How long are they? I'm not very sure if you can put else in line even. You try? You try to put else in line.
Oh, nested in object.
I think better use the normal way. This is more complicated.
So just now I change the number of down page.
要写 inline
对。没有这个买软体。 Oh, look answer. It means that this is running. You have a sign. Running. So,
where the answer?
in January. You enter anything.
I change the number,
Then you try to